Hi, I'm live. Look at me in my drunk cloud shirt, kicking things off. I can't really see it. Let me give you. Blah. So, whenever I do these videos, by the way, while we wait for Romaine to pop in, I never know what YouTube is going to capture as the image that you see. And so now I'm super nervous about what things look like and what's going to happen. All right, let me see. Right, actually, just got a message. Okay, well, anyway, if you're watching me right now, it's because you did not see the live show. And if it's any consolation to you, in a given week, only about 10% of the people who actually watch the videos watch them live. So you are among the vast 90% and not one of the hardcore 10% of our weekly viewers who are deeply invested in seeing us live because they can't wait 1 second until our video starts. Or maybe you're Jason in Fresno and you were so vigorously mopping your floor that you totally forgot our video was starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Well, that's just how it goes. Speaking of how it goes, Romaine Patterson is joining me now live from her home in an art gallery where she now lives like a hobo.
Is that so? An art gallery, really?
Well, it looks like you're in an art gallery.
I mean, kind of, I guess. How you doing,
Gallery.
Derek?
Hi, it's nice to see you.
Good to see you too. I feel like it's been a few days.
It has. It's obviously been a week since we saw each other. But yeah, it's nice to see you. Romaine and I talk almost every single day.
We really do. It's kind of out of control.
I don't know that it's out of control. We have actually a lot to discuss and work out.
Okay, well that is true. We do have a lot of things, a lot of as I like to say it, pokers in the fire.
Yes. Poker. Also, Romaine and I have gone from talking at least 5 hours a day for the last 12 years to talking for like 20 minutes a day. So it's quite the drop off from what it was.
I mean, yeah, it kind of is. It is a little bit, but and we don't get to gossip about like the fun stuff. All we do is we talk is like all work stuff. Like, oh, we got to do this. Oh, we got to do that. It's nothing like fun and gossipy. Like, oh my God, did you see Trainwreck? Which, by the way, have you seen Trainwreck?
No.
Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I was on my way out the door Friday night to go and see Trainwreck finally, because it's been on my list. Plus, I have a free movie ticket, because I go to the movies so frequently. I have a free movie ticket, so I have my free movie ticket in hand, all ready to go, 10:30 show, and got a call from somebody to book the Derek and Romaine cruise, and I ended up booking 3 people on Friday night instead of going to see Trainwreck.
Okay. Now, while that is important, and it is important to book a bunch of people on the Alaska cruise, although I know already that a gazillion people want to go, which is awesome. It is more important, Derek, for you to go and see Trainwreck.
I'm going tonight.
Do you promise?
Yes. The week, ever since last week when we announced the upcoming cruise, it's been madness. I have literally been booking people and dealing with the cruise 12 hours a day, nonstop. No joke. And by the way, the other people, they will tell you, I have been taking booking things, calls, emails at 2 o'clock in the morning.
What?
Literally from the minute I wake up in the morning at 9 a.m. until I go to bed at like 2, I am dealing with people with the cruise.
Oh my God, that's insane. People are calling you at 2 a.m. Seriously?
Well, we were emailing and they're like, oh, well, I guess I'll call you at a normal time. I'm like, just fucking call me now because I'm awake and I'm alive. Do it now. And then we'll be out of the way and done.
Wow. That's crazy. That is dedication, Derek. That's crazy.
I know that people think when they book the cruise, like, oh, I won't know anyone and how much time will I have with Derek and Romaine? And I want you to know, Romaine and I are dedicated to you having a good time. And this is how dedicated we are.
It is true. We do like it when the listeners have a good time on the cruise. It's so funny because thinking about the Alaska cruise, because Derek had me book a few cabins as well, and which we all know that I suck at, but I did it, and I don't think I fucked it up, which is the most important part. But I thinking about Alaska has got me very excited about the November cruise because that's just around the corner. And so I'm getting very excited about all of it. It's like, oh my God, there's so much craziness coming down the pike, and it's all exciting and fun.
Yeah, and even if you're not coming on the cruise this fall, if you're in the New York area, that weekend, Romaine and I are working on things. Romaine and I will have a thing where people can meet up with us and hang out. Because obviously we don't have a show to do on Friday night anymore. So I think Romaine and I are going to do some kind of bar meetup where the listeners who are going on the cruise that come in a couple of days early and people in the New York area who want to see us and hang out, because I keep getting like dinner and movie and drink invites from a variety of people who are in the New York area who are missing us. And I'm like, well, I'll take you to dinner. And it's like, I can't do that with everybody. So Romaine and I will do some kind of bar thing on Friday night, and then everyone can come and hang out with us and see us and everything a couple of nights before the cruise. So whether you're going or not, you can see us. And then we're working on fun stuff for Saturday as well. But it's Halloween. It's going to be a big night. There's going to be a lot going on in New York City to do. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Romaine is our itinerary cruise director person. She's the one who's pulling all of these details together. So it's coming.
I'm trying to. It's a lot of work, Derek, and the cruise line has been a little slow getting to me with the information. But I am trying actively to get all this stuff planned so I can start telling everyone what I've got up my sleeve.
Hot diggity. All right. Well, since we are live and we do have quite a pool of live people here with us, and then a few dead bodies, I feel like, Chicago voters, Romaine and I will answer some of your questions. Now, if you are watching us right now on YouTube, or even if you don't know where you're watching us, if you are watching us and on the screen right now, right here, there's a bar that says click to interact, whatever. You're watching on YouTube, click on that and it will pop a Google Plus screen for you if you're watching through a web browser, not if you're watching on your phone. And you'll be able to use the Q&A feature, which is up at the top of the screen right here. It looks like a keypad. And you can ask your questions or vote up and down some of the questions that we already have. Romaine, we have tons of questions.
Oh, I'm excited. What kind of questions do we have?
Well, we'll get right into it with our very first one. Jim says, I was amazed to hear Romaine state that there were 500,000 requests for the Christmas stockings. Did that include Stanton's 400,000 calls?
I mean, I would assume that at least that many were him, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say. The crazy thing about it is, so there were a lot of calls. There were always a lot of calls, but I just want the listeners to think about it for a minute. How many times did you hear the sounder go off and you not call? Because that is the thing about those types of giveaways is that everyone hears it, but only a small percentage of listeners actually pick up the phone and actually try to call. So, the competition was hot for those stockings.
Yeah, we did get a lot of calls. And it made us feel good. It's like, oh, hooray, we do have a lot of people listening. And all we have to do is bribe them with free stuff. And here they are, filled with the Christmas spirit.
They do that free stuff.
Speaking of Stanton and Austin, though.
Okay.
I know people who can never go on our cruises and everything don't like us belaboring the point. But if you needed an excuse to join us in Alaska, Stanton and Austin booked his cabin this week. He will be joining us too.
What? Stanton's coming to Alaska?
Yes, I know. No. I'm as surprised as you are.
Oh my god. I don't even have words. That's amazing. That's so awesome. I'm excited.
Me too. So it will be a lot of fun to have Stanton join us and when other people join us too. All the information about our cruise is on our show website, derekandromaine.com. And by the way, if you always want to know what's happening with us and, with anything else, it's all on our show website. Last year, we put a brand new site together, has lots of features and functionality. You can log in and tie together your Facebook and Twitter and email all together in one profile. You can see what other people that you know are also fans of us, and that's all in there. Plus, if you want to watch our YouTube videos or hear us, all that kind of stuff, there's buttons on the top nav. Just click the buttons, watch, listen, news, Derek, Romaine. It's pretty simple. So
we do like simple.
I do, but also our listeners like simple. Simpler the better.
Yes.
So just consider our website, derekandromaine.com, your first page to look for everything. All right, so there you go. Let's go back to the questions that people have. Let me see what people have voted up here. Jeffrey asked a lot of questions, but all right. Jeffrey says, which sound effects were your favorites and do you miss the most? The bottom alarm, that's racist, ham, others.
I loved the bottom alarm. I'm not going to lie. The bottom alarm always cracked me up. Always.
I like the bottom alarm, and I also like that. That's racist. Siobhan's, that's racist.
I like that one too.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
We might have to call her and ask her to do it again just so we have one like that when we move on to wherever we're going.
That's not a bad idea because something tells me if Stanton is calling us again, it'll come in handy.
Oh, yes. I was going to make a really racist comment about Stanton going on the cruise. Can I?
No.
Oh, come on. I want to so bad. Does he know how to swim? I know it's inappropriate. I'm a bad person.
Oh my God. So inappropriate.
I know.
Now I really missed that's racist button, in case you were wondering, because Romaine.
You're welcome.
Kevin says, who has written to us about the Derek and Romaine cruise, and he is considering joining us. He says, how many are booked for the Alaska cruise so far? So far, we have booked 46, 47 cabins, something like that. 46, 47 cabins. Romaine has booked 5 of those, and I have booked all of the rest of them.
He's very busy.
The same amount of time.
I told you I'm no good at it, but I did it.
She really isn't. But
I did it.
I will say this in Romaine's defense. There are some things that one of us is much better at than the other one is. And it's so much easier when the person who's really good at it just goes and does it. But I have to say, when I tell Romaine, I'm like, oh my God, Romaine, I'm slammed. You have to get back to some of these people. You know what? I handed Romaine a bunch and she's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to struggle my way through it, but I'm going to do it. And she did it. You know, it was not as fast as I do it, but
oh God, no. Well, actually, I got it done pretty quickly for me, I think. Because it would have been done faster, but I kept having to wait for people to call me back.
Well, I would have sent you some more.
I don't want more.
I know.
I don't like it. I'm no good at it. I mean, I could do it, but I'm just not very good at it. And I feel like you're better at finding like the best prices because you know all the categories. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to fuck this up for somebody.
All right.
That's always my number one concern.
That is fair. And I do have a good sense of where to put people and, you know, what the right cabin is and all that kind of stuff. And
I just make it up.
I know.
I'm a mess. Okay.
All right. And by the way, at Alaska, I was just talking to a guy last night because he's coming. He's like, oh, I think I'm going to try and get my friends to come too. I was like, well, you will be like the 3rd subgroup of people who are coming because we have the lesbian couple that are getting married. They want Romaine to marry them. And so they have a bunch of people from their wedding party who are coming. And then we also have this like cluster of guys from Los Angeles who are all friends, who are all going.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, it was hilarious because they heard us talking about the cruise and everything. And I get that it's, you know, you hear things in passing. This happened a lot on would happen on the show all the time. You hear about something in passing and then you don't really know where it is or what it is, but you know where you heard it, us. So then you write to us and you're like, wait, what is this thing? So with our cruise, all these guys in LA, they heard about the cruise. And so they knew we were sailing on Norwegian, on NCL. So they went to NCL's website and they were like looking around. And one of them called NCL because they had questions about the cruise. And then while they were on the phone with NCL, they just booked their cruise. So then they write to me like, oh, yeah, so I booked my cruise already through NCL. How do I get into your group thing? It's like, well, you have to book through us, our group, in order to be in our group. So I had to unwind like 3 reservations. And they were all friends. And so they all did exactly the same thing.
Oh, no.
But the other 2 were like, oh, I didn't put down a deposit, so I'm fine. He's the only one who really messed up. So anyway, so I just want you to know it's really easy. You go to our website, derekandromaine.com. There's a form you fill out, or you can email us. There's an email address right there, or you can call us. There's a phone number to call, and we will answer all of your questions. It's very simple. Okay. Neoan has a question for you, Romaine. Romaine ran into an old coworker of yours. Do you remember a guy named Mark that worked at a coffee shop with you back in the day? You might remember him throwing a full cup of coffee at a bitchy queen. He's the partner now of a guy I met at church.
Well, first of all, I have worked in many coffee shops over my lifetime. But I'm assuming I did work with a Mark that I remember well from Colorado. I'm not sure if it's that Mark or not. And I remember him pretty well. But I'm not sure if it's the same one or not. Because I did work with more than one Marks over the years. I do know that in coffee shops. So if I had a picture, I would help.
Fair enough. Okay, Tanya has a question for me based on something I posted on my Facebook page earlier this week, facebook.com/Derek Hartley. Tanya says, oh, come on. I have to know, what was that post about this week where you got accused of something you didn't do? Derek, you being a classy dame is really getting in the way of me needing gossip. All right. Okay.
Funny.
Here's the thing. I'm not here to traffic in idle gossip, but another show told a story about something that they heard happened a long time ago that they thought that I had done. And I didn't actually hear the show when it happened, but several people wrote to me about it. And then the audio, a listener like pulled a clip. I don't know how or where, but they pulled a clip and posted it online. And then a whole bunch of other people heard the clip. And then they also wrote to me about it. And so I felt the need to just clarify, because when I heard the clip online, like some other people did, I had never heard that story before. I didn't know anything about it, and I had not heard it. And at first, when somebody wrote to me, they didn't give a lot of details. They said, oh, this thing happened. This was this on-air thing. And I thought, what?
Bitches.
What?
Snitchy bitches. They were
snitchy bitches. Oh, I heard this thing, and I'm sure it's you. Oh, they're always like that. So anyway, some things never change. Nope. But when they told me a little bit, and I was like, oh, I don't even think it was related. I don't think it's me. It doesn't sound like anything I would do. And I really think it's not even related to where I used to work. I just don't think it's related at all. And then when I heard the clip, I was like, oh, that's definitely talking about me. But I don't know. I am as surprised as you are. And I felt it necessary to just clarify that when I heard the clip and I heard the story being told, and again, it was not a story that was being told where the person said, it's not a he said thing where the person involved said that I directly did this thing to them. It was something that they heard that I had done quite some time ago. And so I just clarified that, what that person had heard was not actually something that happened. So I can't control what other people hear about me. I can only tell you what I know about my own life. And that's something I did not do. And I have never heard of that before. And it was a newsflash to me. So anyway, so I felt the need to clarify that because I don't have any other venue for doing that. And I was getting emails about it. It's like, I can't individually write to every single person who writes to me about this. It was getting to be a real drag. So let's consider it in the past. I posted it to put it to rest and aside and move forward. So
you're so classy, Derek. So classy. I love you and how classy you are.
thanks, Romaine. Yeah, aren't we just the classiest two people
Woo!
anyone has ever heard of?
You know it. You know it. No, I love class. Or was it ass? It's ass, right? I love ass.
Rick King says, for old time's sake, how are you doing?
Fuck you. I'm great, actually. I'm in a really good mood today. I don't know why, but I am. I'm in a really good mood. So I'm doing very well. How about you, Derek?
I am in a good mood also. I just have been really busy.
Oh,
I mean,
so busy.
I wish I had more of like a life to tell you about, but you know, my vegan cousin Kane and his lady friend Emily, they stayed with me on Monday, and then on Tuesday I sort of squired them around. You know, my town has a yellow brick road because L. Frank Baum went to the military academy here, and so I took them down, and they got pictures on the yellow brick road, and we went to lunch at some like farm and table restaurant in my town because I knew they would have some fairly decent vegan or vegetarian food for them. So we had a lovely lunch there, and we hung out and we caught up and all those kinds of things. And that was nice. But, you know, they left on Tuesday, kind of late in the afternoon to drive back to Vermont. And Mike flew back to Chicago on Tuesday, and he'll be gone like for the rest of the month.
Whoa, that's
so I've really been just
time.
Huh?
Why has he gone so long?
Well, it's during the summer. He's only doing 1 week a month, working in the office.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Because, you know, summer Fridays, and he's got vacation stuff and long weekends, and it's just, you know, people are not on the office that much. So there you go. But anyway, so, you know, I would like, oh, hooray, I can putt around the house. But ever since we announced the cruise, it's been mostly wall-to-wall cruise booking. So I don't have exciting stories to tell. I mean, I've watched some TV, but I haven't been to Trainwreck yet, and I want to go and see Mission Impossible. So I'm going to a movie tonight.
I want you to see Trainwreck so bad, just so you and I can talk about it.
I know.
Promise me we could talk about it next week during our whatever we're doing.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Another Jeffrey. There's more than one Jeffrey. Jeffrey Taddeo says, when is the new show coming?
Well, now, isn't that the $1 million question? I think, all right, I'm just going to say, I'm going to say this. I think that Derek and I will commit to making sure that we're doing something continuously until the new show comes, whether it's this Google Hangout or something like that. We don't know yet. We'll tell you when we know. But we're going to commit to doing at least something once a week for you guys in the meantime, because we don't want you to, like, you know, not love us or miss us and then cry yourselves to sleep at night. But I think it is safe to say the new show is coming. I see it down the line. The question is, where is it going to land? We have a lot of options. We're weighing all of them. And when we make a decision, we assure you, you bitches will know. We will be like on mountaintops screaming it. We will be talking to every friend we know who has the most minuscule blog in the whole wide world to write about it. We will call into Frank's Unscreened if we have to. Trust me, bitches, you will know when we have a new home. You think that's fair, Derek?
Yes. But in the meantime, Romaine and I will have some, let's say, low rent, down and dirty opportunities for you to participate with us in the meantime, because you're all junkies. That's what I'm saying.
Well, can you blame them? I mean, we are pretty irresistible.
Is that what we're going with?
Yes, that's what we're going with. We're pretty irresistible. I mean, of course they can't live without us. How could anyone live without us? Okay, some people can live without us, but we don't work for them anymore.
Yeah, they could. Exactly. They definitely have decided they can live without us. Okay. Mike says, is Romaine as good as Julie McCoy from The Love Boat?
Uh,
Romaine is pretty good. Romaine is um a very good party planner.
I am so good. I am so good. And not only am I so good, I have so much fun doing it. Like, I legit enjoy it. So, yes, the answer is yes, I am as good, if not fucking better. I can't believe you even had to ask.
And Zach says, Romaine booked my Alaska cruise. She did great.
Yay, Romaine! Whoop, whoop.
Okay. Gail says, Derek, did you get my email about how to cure the cat poop problem? I did get your email, Gail. I think that, but what I really think I'm going to have to do is before I put down new like grass seed and everything, and then I put netting over it, like the kind of net that you put over like a fruit tree to keep birds from eating the fruit in the tree, whatever, that kind of thing. And so I put the net down, I staked it down, and I made that patch, and it started to grow in, but I don't think I let it grow in enough. But I'm going to try everything I can to get those fucking cats to stop peeing and shitting in that one place. But I think they're going to continue to pee and shit there. If once the grass is a little firmer in place, then it will not be as bad. But they just keep digging it up.
Oh my God, this story is so gross. Why are you telling this story?
Because that's what's happening in my life now.
I want to vomit right now.
Yeah. Keith says, when is Katie going to make an appearance on Hangout? I know that we have been promising this, and I talked to Katie earlier this week, but Katie is up in Provincetown this weekend.
And I'm unreliable. I was supposed to book her to come on the Google Hangout, and I failed at my job. I failed. Yes. I failed you, listeners, and I apologize. It's my fault. Don't even look at Derek. It is 100% Romaine's fault.
But I think Katie will be here next weekend because I was going to have her do it this weekend, but she was up with Rick and Steve, the happiest gay couple in the world, up in Provincetown. So I think she was either coming back or still there this afternoon.
Oh, awesome.
Brad says, Derek, is that a Woot shirt? Yes, it is. My shirt is from Woot. My friend Clay got it for me. And the first Pride event I wore it to, another listener was there wearing the exact same shirt. And we got a picture together. It was pretty sweet.
I always loved that t-shirt. That t-shirt always made me laugh.
It is exactly how I feel about Pride.
Amen.
Okay. Bob says, can you lower the blinds behind you to the right just a smidge? It will line up with the windows. Bob,
oh my God, let it go.
They are lined up with the window. The angle of the camera is low, so it doesn't look lined up. But if I raise it up to eye level, you would see it's where it needs to be. But more importantly, OCD bitches need to leave my rap room alone.
Seriously, I think they do it just to fuck with you at this point.
Do you think that's what it is?
Yes.
Well, it is Bob, and that seems like Bob.
Okay.
Harlan has a very important question. Harlan says, does Derek have any skincare product endorsements to make? I'd love to have my skin look that supple when I'm in my mid-50s.
Derek, when did you get into your mid-50s?
Apparently 10 years from now.
What is your regimen these days, Derek?
I like the Dennis Gross MD Skincare all-in-one toner and cleanser. That's what I use every day. And then I also use a glycolic toner too. But not as frequently. And then the number one thing is never go in the sun. The sun ages your skin horribly. So don't go in the sun.
That is true. That is true. Don't go in the sun.
I look a little sleepy today. I don't know why. I slept fine. Although, Romaine, I forgot to tell you I had a dream about you.
What? Was it a good dream or was it a bad dream?
Okay. So I had two dreams in one night, and they were moderately related. I had one dream that we got called to return to do our show again.
That is a dream.
It was a dream. Oh, for sure, a dream. But like I was in the car driving there to do it. So anyway, but I think that is a positive sign dream, because when you're in a vehicle, it's about forward movement in your life. Like when you're in a car that won't start or whatever, it means that you're feeling held back in life. The fact that I was in a moving vehicle and it was about the show makes me think that in my dream, I was optimistic about our future prospects.
Seems reasonable. Okay.
And then the second thing was that Romaine and I got asked to donate articles of clothing to a museum. And
what?
the articles of clothing that they wanted us to donate were our pajamas. And in my dream, it was the pajamas I was actually sleeping in. Like when I woke up, down to the underwear I was wearing, that was what I donated to the museum.
That's weird.
And the funny thing was, it was basket underwear, like the orange basket underwear. And the reason that I remember it is because Romaine brought her stuff to donate too, and she had the exact same underwear.
Okay, that's funny. We do not wear the same underwear.
No.
I can assure you. That's funny. I don't wear men's underwear.
Nope. No, but I thought that was hilarious.
That's pretty funny.
Ramey, who, by the way, Matt and Ramey were recently in the New York Times. We posted it on our Derek and Romaine page on Facebook, and then I noticed Romaine posted it too. A very lovely little video piece about them.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Ramey says, when you get a new show, will you keep the Google Hangouts or a video chat Q&A forum, or does Romaine hate videos too much? I'd love to see your new show, Periscoped. Well, I think that certainly initially with whatever new venture that we do, Romaine and I will be beating every drum we can, and that means staying on Periscope and doing live YouTube videos and whatever else it takes in order to get the word out about whatever our new thing is. So I'm going to say short answer is yes. Ro?
I'm sorry, I was reading questions. What was the question?
About continuing videos after.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yes, we will probably continue to. I'm sorry. I was reading some of the questions on the side.
Oh, can you actually see the moderated questions and moderate them yourself?
I don't know that I can moderate them, but I could scroll down and see them.
You can't press, there's not a button that says select?
No.
Okay, well then, screw you. Okay, Deborah says, Derek, what did you do to your eyebrows? Nothing. These are my eyebrows.
No, they're not. Don't lie.
What do you think they fell off and I replaced them?
Jesus Christ, I'm just joking. Calm down.
My eyebrows are naturally far apart. These are just my eyebrows. I didn't do anything to them.
That's lovely.
Anyway.
I love that that's the question you choose. Of all these.
Romaine froze for me. I hope she froze for all of you too.
This is the one. This is the one.
Mike says, of course, Ro doesn't wear men's underwear. She wears granny panties.
No, I do not wear granny panties either. Thank you very much.
All right. Gary says, today you did not post on Twitter. That is the way I find your show every Sunday. Gary, I posted 2 hours ago on Twitter about it. And I said it would be in English. And for whatever reason, it keeps posting in Portuguese that the show is on. I don't know. But I guess today it didn't even post in Portuguese. I don't know what's happening. That does that automatically.
I know I posted about it on my Facebook, and that usually feeds my Twitter. So I think I tweeted it. Tweeted. I'm such a dumbass. I don't know, though. I'll have to check.
Andrew says, any good pickup lines I can use on someone that's cute?
Hi, you're hot. You want to go get it on? How about that? That's pretty effective.
I think you should say, you'll do.
You'll do. Oh, that's funny. I just used to go and introduce myself to people. Although the one line that always worked is, I was gonna kick myself all night long if I didn't come and say hello to you, in kind of a bashful way, because then they could never turn me away. Because then they're like, oh, she had to get so much courage to come over here and talk to me, which I never did, but I made it sound like I did.
I think you should say, I'd like to bang you like a drum on a Metallica tour.
Ooh, I like that line.
Yeah. All right. Norma says, ADD Jeff is raising money for the AIDS ride.
Oh, that is true. I did know that. He has not gotten me the link yet, but you can go to cycleforthecause.org and you should be able to find a link to his donation page where he is taking donations. I think he has to raise $3,000 because I think he's actually riding this year. So yeah. And actually, I may be hosting their closing ceremonies, but I have to see if I'm going to be back from Colorado in time.
All right.
I think I'm going to, though. So.
All right. Heidi says, how noisy do the rooms get? I want to be able to get some sleep because I'm old. Hashtag Alaska 2016. Listen, Heidi, Heidi ho. The rooms are actually not noisy. It depends on where you are. I always try to book people as far away from the noisy, what could be a noisy area of the ship as possible. And the higher up you go, deck-wise, it tends to be quieter. But I honestly, I used to prefer the rooms that were lower on the ship, closer to the engine, because I really like the vibration of the ship. It really helps me sleep. But the modern ships, and especially the higher up you get, you don't even feel the shaking from the engines. And so you kind of don't get that as much. But I'm the kind of person that likes the ocean rocks you gently to sleep. Most people don't. But the way the modern ships are with the stabilizers and everything, most of the time you can't even tell you're on a moving vehicle.
That is true, Derek. In fact, you really can't tell that you were on a moving vehicle until you step on the land and the land feels like it's moving. And you're like, whoa, what is this weird feeling? I kind of like it. It's kind of groovy. Makes me feel like I'm on drugs of some kind.
All right. Rob in Canada, he's a Can-American, y'all. He says, I'm going to need a roomie for the Alaska cruise. No single cabins on that one. Hope to meet a buddy on the November cruise. Well, we do have a lot of singles on the November cruise because we have these studio cabins that people can go into. And that's going to be interesting. I feel like people are going to like that a lot, and they're only going to want us to be on ships in the future that have those single cabins. Because we have a lot of single people. I think we have 17, 18 single cabins booked.
Oh, wow, that is a lot.
Yeah. And I tried to group everybody together as much as possible. So you're all going to be sort of in your own fun swinging singles neighborhood. So good luck there. Anyway, yes, but we have been very successful with roommate matches before. So my advice, if you do want to go on a future Derek and Romaine cruise, a couple of things, whether you need a cabin mate or not, go to our Facebook group, our DNR cruise group, and post in there and see people and interact with them and ask them about their past experience. If you need a cabin mate, post about that. And it's a good place to meet people and find people for that. And even though Bob posted in there about what a great time he had and encouraging people to come and that he's coming again too. And then Greg said, don't scare everyone away.
How is that scary?
I think he was making a dig at Bob.
By
the way, Greg, so Greg was on the cruise to Mexico.
Yes.
And so we emailed everybody about the Alaska cruise. And then he wrote me an email and he goes, did you take me off of the list because I didn't get an email about it? Does Romaine hate me now and now I'm off the list? Or am I not on the list because my work changed my email address?
Well, okay. Like, that's the dumbest question I've ever heard. Okay, your work changes your email address.
We can't email you.
Probably be the reason. Not because I hate anybody, because by the way, I'm not a hater, I'm a lover.
Oh my God.
What?
Okay, Mike T says tweets are in English today. So there you go. So that's good news.
Woo! What did you do differently?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
That's a Christmas miracle then.
All right. If you're watching live, click, if you're watching on YouTube, click on the banner right here so that you can interact with the Q&A feature. If you're already watching us with Google Plus, you'll see a button up here that looks like a keypad. Click on that and you can ask your own questions or vote up other people's questions. That doesn't work on phones. It only works if you're watching online. Okay.
Right.
But if you're watching on your phone, just enjoy yourself. Randy's question, Romaine, how is Iris's home gym business coming along?
Well, it's not going to be a home gym. I can tell you that much. I have actively been working on a secret project with Iris for the last week or so, but I can't get into the details yet. I can promise you by next week's hangout, I can tell you all about it.
All right.
But it's exciting, and I think Iris is going to be very, very busy in the near future.
Mel says, Romaine, have you been getting Sexpert questions emailed? Do you have enough to do a segment on one of these, or would YouTube frown on that?
No, I haven't had a lot of questions emailed in lately, but then again, I haven't really asked for a lot. If you have a question, you can always put it in the questions and I could try to answer it during a Google Hangout. Or you can email it to me, RomainePatterson@gmail.com. I tried to make my email address pretty easy to remember, RomainePatterson@gmail.com, all one word. And I could try getting back to you. I mean, I've had a few people that have asked me questions since everything happened with the show. But yeah, we could do that. I'm always open to helping people.
All right, there you go. Steven says, will you be doing a YouTube broadcast or Periscope on the cruise? No, just because we will not have regular, reliable internet access on the ship. So if we're still doing these videos in November, we'll be taking 2 weeks off. What I'm saying.
But I will say this, Derek, if we get into like one of the towns in Alaska that has Wi-Fi, like the local Starbucks or something, we could Periscope from there. But it would be a little bit challenging. But it can happen. It's just not as easy.
Yes. Kitty Cat says, whatever happened to Low Gear and how is her haircut?
I have not heard from Low Gear in a long time, but last time I saw her, she was great and she had kept the really cute lesbian hair. So no mullet has returned as far as I know, thank God. And she had, last time I saw her, had no problem getting plenty of actions. So I think Low Gear is doing all right, or at least I'd like to think she is.
All right. Pat says, tell us more about the Alaska cruise. Which cruise line? It's the Norwegian, the NCL Pearl. We're doing the Glacier Bay sailing August 28th through November 4th. You can get more information and book the cruise through us at derekandromaine.com. You'll see the link for the cruise button. If you have more questions, you can email us. We have an email address there, or you can call us. We have a phone number there and ask your questions, or you can fill out the cruise form and that will prompt us to begin working with you to get you onto the cruise. It's very simple. It's very easy.
But is it very simple? I'm kidding.
And Kevin says, so if I book through my usual travel agent and the pricing is the same, what would I be missing out? Well, you wouldn't be able to do, so this is the thing. So basically with our group is the travel agent, which is why we have you book through us. And so the prices are the same with us as you would get with a travel agent. And you just pay the cruise rate. When Romaine and I started doing the cruise, it was very important to us that people not have to pay extra in order to be part of our group and do all of the stuff. And the only way to do that is if you book actually through our group. So, I mean, if you just were randomly booked on the ship and you're not part of our group, you won't get the itinerary. You won't know where and when our group events are. There are certain events you won't be able to go to because you're not part of our group. Romaine and I put together goodies and giveaways, and we have an awards show. We give away awards. And so you would miss out on all those things too. Oh, and we also usually have at least one Derek and Romaine group excursion as well. So, I mean, you miss out a lot if you don't book with us. So you should book with us. And I'm sorry you know, if you're very loyal to your old travel agent friend, but you know, just this once. This is not like we're aggressively competing with your travel agent friend day and night, year round. That's
True
it.
that, yo.
Yes. Jason in Omaha has a question for you, Romaine.
Okay.
Hey, Romaine, have you kept track of how many postcards you've received? And if so, how many of those were from Larry in Florida?
Well, Larry in Florida did send me a big stack of postcards from Florida. I'd say probably about a dozen of them. My stack of postcards is like, it's a big stack. I would say we probably are nearing, I don't know, 75 or so. It's a lot. It's a lot. And we've got most of the states. We're probably about, I don't know, probably about 50% of the way, maybe a little more in terms of how many states we have, but we're doing pretty good with our collecting all 50 states postcards. And I will say this, Romy does love it. Like, she gets really excited, especially when we get a state we haven't received yet. That makes her very excited. So I'm enjoying our postcards from around the country.
All right. Jared has a question. Jared says, as a new cruiser, what's the dining situation like? I hear that you get paired with other people on cruises. Will we be paired with other DNR cruisers, or are we on our own? All right. So the first 2 cruises that we did, we had a assigned section of the main dining room every night, same time, blah, blah, blah. And people really loved that. It was really great because sometimes, you know, people went and tried premium restaurants or ate in the buffet, or they, like those lesbians, they just kept sleeping through everything. But for most people, they like the consistency of having a place to go every night. And then you would sit with different people. You come in and you sit with whoever's there. So the last cruise that we did, we moved to NCL, which has freestyle dining, which does not have like a set time, set location dining. You eat wherever you want, whenever you feel like it. So basically what we wanted to do is, for the first 2 days on the cruise, when people are getting to know each other and meeting people and everything, we have sort of a structured time. This last time, what we tried to do was have specific seating with me or Romaine in the main dining room, specifically for new people who didn't know other people, so we could be there to introduce them to people and everything. And that turned out to be a total disaster for a couple of reasons. One, the dining room staff didn't know what was happening. They kept giving away our tables. People got very upset because they would try to sit with us, and it was like, no, you can't sit with us. And then it was like, oh, it's the mean girls, so fuck you. I don't want to sit with you anyway. So it turned into a total disaster. And then other people who were supposed to sit with us didn't read their itinerary closely and messed it all up. So that was my fault. It was my idea. It totally failed. So this time around, we will have, again, sort of group dining times in a main dining room on the first 2 nights, and we'll all be there the first 2 nights, and it'll be sit wherever you like. You know, if you see Derek and Romaine, you want to sit with us, and there's seats, sit. But in general, it'll be like that, and then we will have sort of a recommended time throughout the rest of the week, with a series of different restaurants, sort of at a regular time. And then if you want to continue to dine with the group, you can do that. But the ship has 29 restaurants, something like that. It's insane, the number of restaurants. So we thought people would not want to be locked into the same place every night. But we will have a different recommendation every night of a place to try. And so if you want to dine with a group, you can do that. Or you can go off on your own after the first 2 days. But the way that we structure the cruise, the first 2 days are sort of an intensive get to know everyone kind of a phase where there's lots of interaction, lots of group activities. We have an at sea day and everyone's together. And then after those first 2 days, it's more unstructured. There are still group activities every day, but people will be going off on excursions and doing their own thing and exploring other restaurants and, you know. But hopefully you'll use those first 2 days to make friends, meet people, and whatever else. And then you'll recognize people throughout the ship as you go along. Plus, as somebody else mentioned, NCL has this iConcierge app for your phone.
Which is really, really awesome. It works really well.
It really is great. And what's great about it is for $7.95 for the entire week, $7.95. You download the app, and then you can make unlimited text and calls to other people on the ship who also have the app on their phone. So it's great if you're traveling with other people, because then, like, if they're up at the pool or whatever else you're supposed to meet, and you're running late, you can text them and let them know, or you can coordinate and meet up. And if you meet people on the boat and you like them, you want to be able to hang out with them, you can start coordinating. You can give each other your like your room number. So you're not actually giving your real phone number. So if they turn creepy, then you don't have to worry about them later in life. But that way you can meet up and everything on the ship. It's really convenient. I have to say, I didn't know much about it before the last time we sailed, and I have to say, it was super.
I failed to set it up at the beginning because I'm like, it's not going to be any good. And then I regretted it the entire cruise last time. So yeah.
I mean, especially for something like, Romaine and Iris, who had their nanny with them, and Romy, there were lots of times where it's like, I don't know where Romy and the nanny are. And if you could text them, then you could find out, or you could coordinate your time, and you could have another hour at the pool or something because Romy was still taking her nap. Like, it's very convenient. Although I used most of it to text with Tiffany and Kelly and Jason, shade back and forth.
Of course you did. Yeah. Of course you did.
That's my new song. I text my shade back and forth.
That was the worst joke I've ever heard. Thank you for sharing it.
You're welcome, everybody.
Oh, that was horrible. Like, legit. Horrible.
We're down to our last few minutes. Romaine, are there any questions you want to make sure that we get to? Since you saw them,
well, no, because I stopped looking through them because you yelled at me because I didn't, you didn't really yell at me. You told me I didn't hear a question. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, if there are any more, Ramy has an interesting question. While Romaine is searching for anything else we want to get to in our last few minutes. The time really flies in here.
It does.
I mean, maybe not for you, but for us. Ramy says, would either of you be willing to move to LA if work took you there, or do you love your houses too much? Romaine and I have talked about this because some of the options that we have may require relocating to other parts of the country. And I mean, I wouldn't love to either sell my house or rent it out or abandon it while we live somewhere else. But I have done that before. Before we started working on our radio show, I used to have a house in Michigan that I used to go to all the time. And then as soon as we started doing the show, I knew I wouldn't be able to spend long weekends there anymore. So I sold it. And so if our new job and new opportunity took us somewhere else, then that's how it'd be for me. Ro, how's your feeling?
I mean, Iris and I talked about it a lot when the show first got canceled, if we would stay in New Jersey or not. I'm not particularly personally tied to New Jersey. I really wish I could live in Colorado near my family. Iris is about to start an adventure that might keep us tied here for at least a short period of time. But yeah, I have no problem going elsewhere. None whatsoever.
All right, good. Okay, do you have another question that you want?
Oh, no, but I do want to comment. Some people posted a link to ADD Jeff's Cycle for the Cause donation page. I also just now put it up on my Facebook page. So if you want to know how you can donate to him, the link is right there at the top of my Facebook page, so you can donate to him. He does need to raise $3,000 in order to ride in the ride. So go and help him. He could use the help.
All right, good. Mike says, Romaine actually is sober this week. Last week was entertaining.
I am sober this week. Yes, I am sober. Although I'm very tired because I had a really long day yesterday. I had 2 birthday parties for Romy. And then last night we went over to our friend Jeff and Lauren's house and we did movies under the stars in their backyard. And I have to say, it was so much fun, Derek. You would have fucking loved it. It was so much fun. We had this huge, huge banner that Iris took off the side of her building because, she works at the movie theater and they get those big banners that go on the side of the building.
Right.
And so when they're done with them, they usually just toss them. So every once in a while, Iris will bring one home so we can use it for things when we're collecting leaves or whatnot in the yard. We just put everything on the banners. They're awesome. They're so great. They're giant tarps essentially. And so we had almost an all-white one, and we gave it to our friend Jeff and Lauren, and they strung it up between 2 trees. And this thing is huge, this screen. And then we got a projector and we projected everything up. And then they got a bunch of speakers and set up the speakers. And we all sat around the fire pit on lawn chairs. And we had a big giant bag of popcorn. And we watched Guardians of the Galaxy. It was so much fun. It was great. It was a blast. And we had barbecue food and just like, it was just really fun. So I did all my drinking last night.
All right, we have one last question, then we'll wrap things up. Mark says, both of you have talked about your favorite segments, but what would you say were the most successful activities or segments you did that were the most impactful in creating Derek and Romaine? What made you think we just might have something here?
I mean, I feel like the first time we did a really successful live broadcast. I mean, because we've done a few of them over the years. Obviously, Gay Days Disney was kind of the epitome of a great live broadcast. But even when we did smaller ones, like at Sue Ellen's in Dallas, that's kind of where I really started to see that there was something to the show. Because, the first year we did it, I think we had 10 people. But by like the third or fourth year, we were filling up an entire bar filled with people who wanted to come see the show. And that always, I think was one of those big key things that really solidified it for me, because this is one town in one part of the country, and we were able to make like really fun and exciting events. So I've always enjoyed doing live broadcasts.
Yeah, even though going to Dallas was the first but not the last time that people said, I thought there'd be more people here. And it doesn't matter how many people we would get to show up at something. Invariably, somebody would say, I thought there'd be more people here.
Oh, yeah, always.
And like when we did our Dallas broadcasts, every year we were basically almost at capacity. We kept moving venues like, oh, we'll need a bigger place next time. And then every year, I mean, even the first one, we only had a handful of people. We were in such a tiny nook. It was practically full. So it's like, all right, well, if we do this again, we have to be in kind of a bigger place. And then we moved, and then we kind of outgrew that, and then we moved again, and outgrew that. Finally, Sue Ellen's was a big enough place when they did the new Sue Ellen's. And that was the last time. That was the super fun one, even though that was a mess of a broadcast because my sandwich sat out too long, and then I got really sick, and Greg got drunk and did shirtless karaoke. And
Jaeger bombs. Do you remember the Jaeger bombs they had? Was making us those crazy, and I was so drunk by the end of that fucking broadcast. I can't believe I could stand up. That's how drunk I was.
Sam went out into the parking lot and smoked pot with some people in a car.
Oh my God, I totally remember that.
Yeah. But the best was me like driving through the Jack in the Box drive-through with Greg hanging drunk out of the window.
Well, and didn't Greg's wife get really drunk too?
Huh?
Didn't Greg's wife also get really drunk at that
Dawn was not on that trip. She kept calling Greg.
She went on one of them where she got really drunk.
Huh?
She was there for one of the years when we did Dallas, and she got really drunk.
Yes. They did it. They did. I think that was the next year.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't remember. You don't even remember. But anyway, I do remember that Dawn was not there because Dawn kept calling Greg and he was not answering the calls because he was so drunk. He knew he couldn't pretend like he wasn't completely wasted.
That's funny.
And I just needed to get to Jack in the Box, and I did not want a cop to pull us over because Greg was a mess in his seat, climbing out of the window. And I had not been drinking, but I was like, I just want to go home and go to bed. We have a long day tomorrow. I just got to get Greg back to the hotel in one piece. And I got to get my sourdough Jack. But anyway, but really for me, the first time was when we were in Atlanta, and because I told the story a couple of weeks ago, we were in Atlanta and Romaine and I went to a Starbucks. We weren't even in the gay neighborhood. We're across the street, and this straight couple in a car recognized us, yelled out, Derek and Romaine. And we had been on the air a year. There were so few subscribers. We our first time in Atlanta or something. And I just thought, oh my God, this is happening. I mean, I was always surprised every time Romaine and I were recognized somewhere in public. But the very first time that happened, because everything was so small then, it was like, oh no, what is this going to be? What is this going to become?
I'm still shocked when someone recognizes us. The other day I was walking through my local mall and someone goes, "Do I know you?" And I said, "I don't know. Do you?" And he goes, "Oh my God, you're Romaine." And I was like, "Yes, I am." And then he was all sad. He's like, "I'm so sad about your show." And I'm like, "Don't be sad. It's okay. We'll be back eventually somewhere
and then
else."
what, you went and cried in Hollister?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Keith, we don't think you're a snitchy bitch. Please don't be sensitive. What's our rule?
Don't be so sensitive. But I do like snitchy bitches sometimes. I don't mind if you snitch.
Well, these days, what do we care?
Yeah, I got nothing to lose if you snitch. Go ahead and snitch.
Yeah, I don't care. All right, well, this has been fun. Don't forget to go to our show website, derekandromaine.com. Exciting buttons at the top.
Ooh.
Listen, watch Derek, Romaine, news. It's all right there on our show website, derekandromaine.com. And then the cruise, of course, all the cruise information is there too. We didn't get to everybody's questions, but don't worry, we'll be back again next week. Lady,
Yes. What?
this has been fun. We're out of time. It's 5 o'clock.
Of course it's been fun. That's because we're hanging out.
I know. I do miss hanging out with you.
I miss hanging out with you too.
I'm not joking. We should have lunch soon, actually, like this week.
Okay. All right. We can do that. Let me know what day works for you, honey bunny.
Here's what works for me when our heat wave breaks, because, yeah, I'd love to see you, but not when it's 92 degrees outside.
I concur.
Okay. All right. I think the weather breaks on Thursday. So let's think about Thursday.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
All right. Thursday. All right. Thanks for joining us. Romaine doesn't even know what bit I'm doing. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
12 years on the radio. Every time I said Thursday, people didn't know I was doing this. Thank God for YouTube.
I guess.
It's Ab Fab. Was Patsy when she was a model. Thursday. Nothing.
Yeah, you definitely look just like Patsy.
I do. I mean, you know, Patsy now.
Right.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Go to our show website, derekandromaine.com. Romaine is waving goodbye.
Bye. Kisses to my bitches.
All right. Bye, everybody. Join us again, not on Thursday. I don't know, Sunday.